Well, good morning. I am so excited to be here with you this morning. I have an incredible special event and guest with me here today, and you can probably see who is with me. Of course, I am Christine Glein, known as the Soul Intelligence Officer at the Game Changing Impact Group. And I actually have an incredible guest that's going to give us great information no matter what you're doing. Okay, whether you've got your own business, whether you're working for someone else, we can talk about personal brand versus just corporate brand, but it's how do you stand out and what sets you apart. It is so important and so critical. So I want to introduce my friend, my branding guru, and someone I absolutely adore and admire, Debbie White.
Aw, thank you so much, Christine, for having me here. I adore you as well. I'm really excited to be here. I love talking about this. I am a brand coach, but I didn't start out as a brand coach. I actually, I'll start with a little bit of background about me, and then I'm going to get into what you guys are really going to take away, which is what Christine is saying. I'm going to help you,
Love it.
by the end of this talk, start to understand that there are key steps that will help you stand out on social media. There is a science to it. There is an actual process that for everybody. So I want to start there. And how do I know all this stuff? I actually spent over 3 decades in the creative marketing field. And I had the opportunity to work on a lot of really cool brands, actually coming up with the creative for brands like Starbucks, Nordstrom, Microsoft, all kinds of brands. Really, really fun. I ended up having my own ad agency, and I'm one of those, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I've had my own several businesses over the last 28 years, and
Wow.
I've been able to launch multiple 6-figure and 7-figure businesses. So I have a lot to pull from when I talk about how can I help all of these people really stand out on social media and build an impactful brand and business. It's really, really fun. And there's an actual methodology that I feel like a lot of people just kind of skip over, or maybe they don't even realize there's actual steps. And I've developed a 5-step system that's very simple and very powerful to use. So I'm going to share some of that today. Yeah.
Well, super good. I am so absolutely delighted that you're here and that you're able to share with the audience that we have. So what are some of the things that people come to you for? Like, what are some of the problems they're experiencing? I think there's a lot of clutter out there, a lot of sameness, right?
Yes. I will say, I think all of us can say that over the last 2 years, the entire world has jumped online, which is a phenomenal opportunity for everyone, because now we're so used to buying and connecting in the online space, but it's gotten crowded. And a lot of people are jumping online, and you're seeing a lot of people trying to figure it out using the same templates, the same approach. And what I see is every single one of you has something so unique. There is no other person like you. That means there's no other brand like you. Right. How do you harness that so that you can stand out? Your brand actually breaks through the noise. So I hear people say, I don't know how to reach my ideal audience. I don't know what to post. Where should I be? Why am I not getting traction on social media? Those are the key things that I tend to hear. Another one is, I don't even know where to start. I mean, they're just, do I just buy some Facebook ads? And no, please don't.
Yeah.
There's a whole slew of reasons why. Yeah, exactly. And you don't need fancy funnels. You can stand out and build a very successful.
By the way, I made that mistake too.
The fancy funnels. No, you don't need that.
And how about the webinar, like the not live webinar strategy where it's just on a loop and you only have so minutes? I mean, I did them all, Deb. I made every one of those mistakes.
I think you showed me some of that stuff. I got to work with Christine. It was like, oh God, what is this? So I think all of us have either done it or think maybe we should do it. I'm going to save you a lot of trouble. Don't do those things. People want actual connection. They actually want what it is that you have.
Right.
just have to figure out how to take all this stuff, because it seems like, well, I have all these things, I don't know, and literally focus them into a system, into what's your truth and what's the most powerful for your brand, so that you stand out. And there's steps that you
So
do that.
even keeping in mind, like any of the folks that I've worked with in terms of, corporate clients, maybe they're working within a company, how
Yeah.
important is your own personal brand?
Oh, I think it's very important now more than ever. I really do. It's just the world's changed with social media. It's never going to be the same. And we have influence. And not only do we have influence inside a company, we have influence out in the social media landscape. Influence as a thought leader, influence perhaps in speaking engagements, influence in online connections that can be very powerful.
Mm,
It's a different world. And I
yeah.
think we all need to be paying attention. If you want to have a bigger impact with the work that you have to do, you can do that with personal branding, and you can do that by growing your own business online. I mean, like you, Christine, I left the corporate world. I actually had I had my own ad agency serving a Fortune 500 corporation, and that folded. And I was sitting there going, okay, now what? And I started this, for me, as a brand new venture. And it hasn't
Mm.
even been 2 years yet. And by using these steps, and I'll show you some other examples, I've been able to grow a multiple six-figure business with the very steps that I teach other people to use. So it does
So
work.
awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah.
how do we know if we're in the right place right now?
I would say you're in the right place if you are an entrepreneur. I do specialize in serving women, but this is for any entrepreneur. I mean, this is foundational work that I do. There's no gimmicks, but you're in the right place if you're an entrepreneur that has a business and you want to really notch things up. You want to learn a sustainable, easy to implement system that will give you more growth, attract your ideal customers, not just a smattering of whoever's out there. Instead of being scattershot with your social posts, you're more targeted with what you're saying. And you're able to really harness what is unique and different about your brand, because everyone has a unique and different point, and be able to message that in a clear way. So just
Yeah.
wanting to get clarity, wanting to stand out, wanting to get more ideal target, their target audience.
So I know we've both experienced overwhelm at one point or another,
Yeah.
right? Where you just feel like you're all over the place. So where's the best place to start? Someone needs your advice. What's the first thing you tell them what to do?
Well, I have 5 steps, and we've done these together, you and I. And
Yep.
I'll tell you, and I'm going to do a little exercise today with everyone, because this would be step 1. So I call this my brand love system. This is how you build massive brand love for your brand.
Oh, can you
And
tell why I love Debbie? We just start with brand love. How about just that in and of itself? I love that it's called the brand love system.
yeah, I mean, you want to build, and this is the thing, you want to build actual love for what it is that you do, that's relating to people, not just up here, but here.
Mm,
I mean, we all have brands that we love, and you think about, why did we love those brands? We say, like, I love such and such. Like, I go out and buy every Apple product there is. I love this brand.
mm,
Like, why do I love this brand? They've done a stellar job. I always talk about Apple. They're a classic example for a reason.
right.
Steve Jobs' first mission statement actually didn't even talk about computers. He got it right out. That's why he was such a visionary. He literally came right out the gate saying, I mean, way when he first started, his first mission statement stated that Apple was about the empowerment of mankind.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't start saying, we're going to build really sleek, sexy computers. So it's
Yeah.
really cluing in. So this is bringing the first step that I start with everyone. There's 5 steps. The first step is your why. I
Mm,
just stated Steve Jobs' why. That empowerment of mankind, everything that company is about, right? Think differently. That is empowering. That
mm,
is their whole, that tagline's been around forever. And tapping into Why do you do what you do? Not about making money, not about you at all. In fact, everything about your brand is about your audience, it's about them. What are they getting out of experiencing your brand? What do you want for them to receive? And I've even taken it up a notch. I really like this idea.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for something.
Ready? So
Ready,
this is
because I
something
was
I
like,
want all of you to try on for yourselves. It's kind
okay,
of audacious, but that's what we need to do when we're doing this kind of, this is internal business branding work, right?
mm-hmm.
Some of the results, obviously, we can put it out to the world. But if your brand was a movement, what would it be? What
Well, we know
movement would it
mine.
be?
It's the
Yeah.
soul intelligence movement, right? It's
Okay.
about,
And what does that mean for others?
and that means about being able to help others shift into the best version of themselves, to up level from within. It means
Yeah.
to really help um, enlighten people, bring help the consciousness of the planet, right? I remember when we were coming up with
Yeah.
what is my true why, I'm like, that's too big. I don't know that that
No,
could be my why.
it's not too
But
big.
listening to you talk about Steve Jobs' why, I mean, it really truly is the why. I want everyone to experience more love and joy and peace in their life on a daily basis, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And
I feel that. I mean, don't you guys feel that when you hear Christine talk? Like we feel that because she's so connected to her purpose.
Mm,
So your why is your purpose. It's your North Star. It's the
mm,
foundation of everything. And the more you connect with that why, the more powerful your brand will be. And I'll give you some stats on that. But I also want to say, I would say the majority of my clients, when they start working with me, they cannot articulate their why or they don't even know it.
mm.
This is, and so if you're sitting there going, I don't know what my why is, you're in great company. It takes time to connect because sometimes we can't even see. We're just out there kind of busying. We have a mission, but we're not even grounded in why are we doing what we're doing? And I serve a lot of coaches, service providers, people that have unique creative businesses, even artists. The artists, fascinatingly enough, typically don't have a clue. And when they figure out what their why is, they skyrocket.
Wow.
It's really amazing.
Wow.
But going back to your why do we start there? There's a famous quote by Simon Sinek. Some of you guys might know who he is. He's done a very famous TED Talk about your why. And he states, when I agree, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it,
Mm,
right? They're buying
mhm,
the why. So the why is the purpose. There's also, I love stats. There was a groundbreaking study on purpose,
mhm.
and it actually states that if you're building a brand with a purposeful mission, you're building your brand on your why, as you are, as I am, right? I am here, I specialize in serving women.
Mhm.
I'm here to empower women to highlight their inherent gifts and
Mm,
share them with the world,
I
right?
love that.
Yeah. So I'm really passionate about this. And that purpose, it's not just a more of an emotional connection with your audience when you share that and you share why. It builds trust, it builds loyalty, it builds a connection. And here's what it's called the Strength of Purpose study. They actually studied 8,000 global consumers, 75 companies and brands.
Wow.
They found that consumers, check this stat out, are 4 times more likely to buy from a purposeful brand. 4
Wow.
times. 4 times. So there's all kinds of stats about purpose-driven brands. You might have a purpose, but if you're not incorporating that into your marketing and your messaging, your audience doesn't even know.
Or even into your Facebook or LinkedIn profiles, right?
Absolutely. That's all part, in my opinion, that is all part of branding and marketing.
Yeah.
All of those steps,
Yeah, and
profiles,
yeah,
everything.
and so especially for some of the folks here that are executives that are working within companies, like how do you elevate your personal brand within a company? Yeah, look at your LinkedIn profile, right? Look at what
Absolutely.
you're saying and incorporate your why,
Yes.
right? That's going to get you in front of people quicker. I think, the way you network today, LinkedIn is such a huge tool.
Absolutely. I would even say for people in the corporate world, just to tag on what you're saying, Christine, if
Hmm.
there's something that you are so passionate about, and maybe it's a subset of the company you're working for right now, just having that purpose out there, first of all, I mean, everyone sees everyone else's profiles, and just
Hmm.
that knowledge could spark an idea within the company like, hey, Jack, or hey, Jackie, I see that you're really in, we're doing a symposium in Vegas in June. I think you ought to attend. Maybe this is something we can incorporate. It opens doors
Yep.
that lead to the very thing that you're passionate about. Right. So maybe you can even
Absolutely.
grow further within a company or be networking with others in a way to bring something more forward. I actually have seen my own daughter do this with what she's doing. It's really amazing.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. So that can actually open all kinds of connections that you wouldn't have otherwise, which brings you more opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things I remember that you just said that was so important was, I kind of hid behind my company name, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, no, people need to know you. It's a personal brand, it's a personal connection.
Yeah.
Um, and then the next most impactful thing I think that you shared with me was about it's not about you, it's about your clients and how do they feel and what are they going to get. And a lot of us lead with, what we do as
Right.
opposed to the impact we're going to have on others.
It's all about the impact.
Mhm.
It's all about the impact. It's funny, it just made me think. I actually have my signature program that I now do. It's called House of Impact.
Oh,
It's all about the impact.
yeah,
Everything,
baby.
yeah. I mean, everything we do from a marketing standpoint is for our audience.
Mm,
And I think, and if you're not a marketer, this would not come easily. You wouldn't
right.
get that. But that knowledge and that switch of flipping the tables, if you will, what are
Hmm.
they going to get out of it? You hear people use the word serve a lot. Serve your audience, serve your clients. What does that mean?
Right.
Well, first of all, the second step is understanding your ideal target audience. You actually have
Right.
to
So we
ask
got
them.
why, and
You have
now
your
it's the
why.
ideal audience. Got it.
You have to understand. I say you need to understand your target audience. The ideal is as well as you
Mhm.
understand yourself. You literally need to be able to step in their shoes, understand what are they struggling with, but not just that. A lot of people will stop there. Oh, I solve these problems. No, it's more than that. It's so much more than that. What do they desire? How do you uniquely help them transform into what they say they want, not what you know they need? Two different things.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you need to do the work. We have a system, we have interview scripts, all kinds of things. We do our own market research in order to get those results, which you've done. And then
Yes.
their own words are part of your key language, your key messaging language. And that's unique and that's a difference.
So good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a huge eye opener for me. And it was also, I was really nervous, like just to reach out and ask people. And then what came back to me was so amazing and just impactful and
Yeah.
powerful and loving and nurturing for me just to hear what they really
It
thought
is.
and how transformed their lives have been. It's interesting. My husband just got a comment from someone that I've been coaching because he's working with him on a different project, and he just was gracious with his comments and said how amazing it's been working with me, how much it's impacted his family life, let alone his business. And, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just so good to hear and to hear the language,
And
you
to hear
know?
how it's impacting, and to
Mm,
hear when people, and we've done this work together. Christine and I
yeah.
did a one-on-one VIP experience together. And to hear when you start hearing the same words being used from different people, you're like, oh, that's like a thing.
It was
And we
so
can't see
cool.
that when we're
Yeah.
inside the glass jar. We can't read the label on the outside.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
we did
remember
that
that and just
reflection.
going, wow, look at that. They're all saying the same things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so eye-opening and helpful and just really got me to understand, how to say what I want to say.
Right.
So that it resonates with the clients that I know I'm here to serve and to help. It was so
Absolutely.
good. That was such a juicy tidbit. If you did not write that down, you should write that down.
I
I'm
know
telling
that's a juicy
you.
tidbit. I'm going to go in further. I have something for all of you watching today too. And I'm going to talk a little bit about more at the end, but we are going to offer you guys free registration to attend a 1 hour a day event.
Oh my gosh.
The first week of May. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps of the brand love system.
That is so good.
It's really fun. It's really amazing. And we actually give you feedback on your why. Yeah. So I want you to start thinking about your why and then just know the first week of May. And we're going to do it all together on Zoom. It's going to be really great. Nothing's recorded. It's all live and fresh with questions, all kinds of stuff. And we're going to actually have a workbook with questions where you get to answer, and we'll support you. But it's called the Brand Love Event. I might as well tell you about it. And I'm going to come back. I know I'm live right now. I will come back and give you guys the link to the Brand Love Event.
Oh, that's good.
If that's something you want, you can even just write brand and I'll know that's you and make sure you get it. You can just write brand in the comments. And I have another thing I'm going to give everyone at the end to stay till then.
Well, I did do one of your live events, and that was like what got me like super excited. And I went, oh, this is so good. I'm like, I want to know more. I need to know more.
Yeah.
And so it really, really helped, like having that introduction to all the steps.
Exactly.
But you know, what I felt so impactful was actually taking the steps deeper and really having an immersion, you know, with you, especially for where I was in the point of my business.
Absolutely. I do. Well, I work two ways, and most of the work I do is in my program with women entrepreneurs. We take them through a year because it takes, first of all, you've got to really get clear on those 5 steps. And then you've got to learn how to take it and implement it in the different social channels. And it's different for everyone. We don't have a one way of doing things. You know, you're streaming multiple places today, right? We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. You can find Christine on YouTube.
Yep.
It's the same system you can use anywhere. That's what's so cool because it's foundational, right? You can use it with your emails, with your website. But the key steps is getting so clear your why, understanding your target audience, and there's more to that, but that's the second phase. 3 is something that is not talked about a lot, unless you're in a corporate marketing, and I call it your secret sauce. And then marketers call this, you in corporate will know that's your point of differentiation. Now, if you're a professional marketer, this is very key. Now, what I see in the online space with personal brands is this just gets like, whoop, like what? It's like pain points. It's like, yeah, pain points are great, but you don't lead with a pain point because everyone's leading with the same pain point in your category. Think about it. How are you going to stand out? So you have to know what's your zone of genius.
Right. Oh, that was like so impactful.
Differently. What's your unique place in the market? I mean, is there an opportunity in the marketplace that's not being served? So those nuances are everything about standing out. You know, that's why I specifically went tighter with women and I kept squeezing it down. Like I have a special niche demographic that I serve, and I know I do. They're not as comfortable with social media. They know that's where they need to be. They don't know how to stand out online. They've been in business for a while and they want to really kick it up.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do the work. Those women take off. So there was a need there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really,
I will say, I know that your niche has been working with women, Deb, but I would say that your principles really translate.
They do.
Across. I mean, it's just
I have worked with men as well. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I spent years working with probably mostly men, and I do have male one-on-one VIP clients.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, just the principles are so strong and so good. But one of the things I found really helpful working with you is you help us go deeper. You help us unpack what those nuances are. Like I thought I knew what my points of differentiation were, but you really helped me nail them down and align them, and honestly help me pull it all together.
That's the thing. I just, it's so interesting. And this person. I just had a VIP client fly down. I live in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, by the way.
This is so wicked
I
cool.
sold
I've
almost
been
everything
there
I
and
own.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, she knows my story. I'm one of those. I basically sold everything in the Seattle area and moved to Mexico, and I live on the coast. Why not? But I just had a client come down, and we did our session, and we literally wallpapered the walls with all of this juicy stuff about her and her brand, her points of differentiation, what her target audience is saying. It was like everywhere. And it's like, how do you take all that and distill it down? That's the work.
Yep.
And when you get that, it's like, oh my God, it's eye-opening.
That's the brand love magic,
re-energizing for your brand. Yeah.
That is the brand love magic for sure.
That's the brand love magic. So, and I want to say, I mean, you're such a great example yourself of just Christine coming in and just taking off and having so much clarity with her soul intelligence. I was going to tell, I have two other examples I was going to share of just how does this actually work?
Sure.
Because we have so many stories. I've been able to serve hundreds of women around the world. And I have a couple examples. One, and I'll just call her Jay. She's actually a fine artist, and it's really interesting because when she started working with me, she was already pretty successful. But after a year of working with me, already being successful, she doubled her income, multiple six figures, an artist.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, how's that possible? Yeah. She got so clear on her purpose. Like, she's always been about nature, but it was real, like, loose, like nature. It's like, okay. She now says, I talk to trees. It's so good. You should see her art. So it actually shifted her artwork.
Wow.
She actually increased her prices. She had 2 sold out 6-figure shows in a top gallery, sold out.
Wow.
And to further that story of how she shows up online, it's beautiful. For every, and her art's not cheap, right? We're talking like 10 to 15 grand, and it's going up. She's going to raise them again. They're incredible pieces. They're so amazing.
Wow.
For every piece you buy, 24 trees are planted.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So it's the full purposeful experience, right? Like, it's so much more.
That is so good.
It's so cool. Yeah. So that's how purpose can have an impact, even for a creative. You'd think, well, don't they already know that? It's like the clarity. And then I have another client, and I'll call her Anne. She has a yoga apparel brand. Now, what's really interesting is when I started working with her, it was like, well, yeah, I have this yoga apparel brand. I'm like, that's really cool. Come to find out, she is the very first yoga apparel founder in the world. She has been around that long.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, that's called a secret sauce. You need to own that sucker.
Wow. That is so super cool.
Yeah. She just wasn't owning her own strength. And I see this a lot. Something that you think, I've been around since. I'm like, how long? Was any other brand? Like, actually I was the first, I think. I'm like, can you figure out if you were the first? Because that's kind of a big deal. So she now owns the fact that she really is the very first yoga apparel founder in the world. She increased her income by 40%.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And her website traffic increased by 60% in a year. So that clarity, that getting into understanding your target audience, what is your purpose? What is your secret sauce? All of those things have a bottom line impact. And both of them are enjoying their business. Like, I mean, you do, it's more fun. Like, what the hell to post, and where you're going.
Well, I suppose people could choose to do nothing, or they could choose to investigate more of what Brand Love's all about. Deb, how can people find you? What's going on, and how do they get to that?
Well, you can find me. I'll tell you the easiest way probably to find me for all of you guys on different platforms is on Instagram. I'm at Frankly Deb. Like, frankly, my dear. Frankly,
yes,
Deb.
I love it.
Frankly, Deb. I have a link in my bio to register for free for Brand Love. And I'm going to come back. Anyone that says brand, even in the replays, say brand, I'll be watching. I'll come back and I'll drop you the link.
Awesome.
And I wanted to give you guys just a little
people already. So that's great.
What's that?
Yeah, we've got quite a few that are putting
Awesome.
brand already in the comments, so we're in
Okay,
good
we'll get.
shape there.
I promise I'll get back to you. I'll give you the link for. It's a free event. We have a 1 hour a day training, and then we always throw in some bonuses. You get a workbook. It's really powerful stuff. You're going to get so much out of just the free event. I audit courses from time to time just to see what's out there. And I just audited an Instagram course, and it was a couple $1,000s. And I was like, you know what? I teach all that during Brand Love for free.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really powerful. So
Yeah,
come and check it out.
I can't tell you how much value you will get out of just the 5-day event
Yeah.
that Deb does alone, let alone if you decide to work with her. I can tell you it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I absolutely adore Deb as a person. If you can't tell, she puts her heart and soul into everything that she does, and she really helps you get clarity around your brand and has done like wonderful things for me, to where she's certainly become a very close friend in a very short period of time. And I'm blessed to have her in my life.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. You're in the right place if you're following Christine, for sure.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share before we go?
Yeah, I have a little fun thing. I love a quiz that actually works and tells you something about yourself. I have a brand quiz that's actually based on real research. It's really fun. And I'm going to come back, and it's a link. So I'm going to come back and drop that also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And you can find out your brand's personality. What is the personality of your brand? It's a place to start, and it's really fun. So I'll come back and drop that brand personality quiz for y'all too.
Yay, perfect. And like that, will that brand quiz also help people who are trying to establish their personal brand, whether it's
Yeah.
outside a company or within a
Yeah,
company?
I think it's good for you to know, like, what is the tone that you might want to go into? Are you an excitement brand? Are you an outdoor rugged brand? It's going to kind of give you a feel, and and just to see. There's 5 different types. It's based on Susan Akers' brand personality work that she did. It's I love using this. I do this a lot when I in corporate. We would look at what is the personal tone of this brand. Where are we in the space of all the other brands, right? And it can also inform. I give a little suggestion for color palette. It's just a place to start thinking about, oh, well, and it's fun, to see like what personality is your brand.
Wow. Well, speaking of personality of my brand, I have been wiggling because Stella is so excited about Brand Love, my puppy. She will not leave me alone. So if you've been wondering what in the world is going on with Christine, she is all about it right now. And I think it's because I have these fun sleeves. She's like, oh, that must be a toy.
She's playing with your shirt.
Oh, yeah. She won't stop. She won't stop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm so excited to have had you on. I know most of my audience will catch this on the replay because they are hard at work right now.
I got it.
And we are at a special time. But those of you who did catch us live, thank you so much. And we will definitely get you the links to Deb's event as well as that really cool brand quiz. So I hope everybody has a terrific end to their week, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.